Welcome back to Synchronicity, talk radio for your mind, body, and soul. I'm your host, Marie Benard, and this is CITR 101.9 FM in Vancouver, or you might also be listening online at CITR.ca, CosmicDimensions.com, EmpowerRadio.com, or on the Co-Creator Network. And today we are speaking with Marci Shimoff. She is the author of Love for No Reason, 7 Doorways to a Life of Unconditional Love, not just romantic love or love for your shoe collection, but true unconditional love.
And that kind of love makes even your shoe collection love better.
Yay! Do you have you? It sounds like you have an experience with the love of your shoe collection.
Oh no, I'm just saying that when you feel love, this kind of unconditional love, every other love is more juicy for the shoe collection.
Juicy. I love that word. Good one. Good one. So we're coming up to Valentine's Day, and love, it's whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship, Valentine's Day is a loaded holiday. Why is the book coming out just before Valentine's Day?
Well, actually, Love for No Reason has been out for a year. It just came out in paperback.
Oh, okay.
It's brand new in paperback. And, it's a perfect time because there are a lot of people who are single and not in relationship, and they have a really pretty crummy time oftentimes around Valentine's Day. And this book addresses that because it helps you feel more self-love. And for people who are in relationships, it also helps because if people ask me what's the number one thing I can do to improve my relationship, I say raise your love set point, because that's the key to it all. If you raise your love set point, your relationship will absolutely follow suit and be more filled with joy and love.
Beautiful. Well, I think that's going to answer this question already, but I want to put it out there because I did invite people on Twitter and Facebook to ask their questions. So one question came in from Romania, which is, what are the things that make you happy? And Vernon from Facebook asks, is true happiness more about being in control of your thoughts or letting go of your emotions?
Okay. So, and I'm sure the reason they're asking the questions about happiness is because I wrote the book Happy for No Reason, which is 7 steps to being happy from the inside out. And the first question is, what makes me happy personally?
It says, what are things that make you happy, but yeah.
So I can answer that in a way that answers both of those questions. What I discovered in writing Happy for No Reason is that the things that I thought were going to make me happy didn't. And there's a reason for this. According to the research, we have a happiness set point. And just like I talked about a love set point, we have a happiness set point. No matter what happens to us, good or bad, we will hover around our happiness set point. So when good things happen to you, you're happier for a little while, and then it goes away. It just doesn't last. We get used to it, and it no longer really helps us be any happier. So the real key is to raise our happiness set point. And since I've done that, everything has changed. I mean, it doesn't matter what's happening on the outside. You don't have to try to control anything in order to be happier. Which brings us to the second question, which was, is it more important to control your thoughts or to let go of your emotions? My experience is that controlling anything doesn't work, including your thoughts. Mm-hmm. And so my approach to raising your happiness set point is very methodical. There are 7 main areas that you deal with. One of them is your thoughts, but it's not about controlling them. It's about actually letting go of the thoughts that don't serve you. And I have specific tools and techniques that work for that. But it's also about opening up your heart, letting love lead in your life. It has to do with your physical body, creating the right biochemistry of happiness or love, depending on which topic we're talking about. It has to do with feeling your purpose in life. It has to do with feeling connected to a greater spirit, your spiritual aspect to life. And it also has to do with your relationships and who you're surrounding yourself with. So I really believe in a holistic approach to both happiness and love. When you look at all of those aspects and you really focus on specific keys to here's the news as far as I'm concerned. This is exciting news. Science has cracked the happiness code. We know what it takes to make you happier. I know specifically there are 21 habits that anybody can practice to raise their happiness set point. So as far as I'm concerned, this should be headline news. This is the thing we want more than anything. So this is why I'm very excited, because, we don't have to change the world out there. We can change these specific habits of ours to experience more happiness or more love in our lives. So, hip, hip, hooray for that.
So it sounds like the first thing people should do is go out and get both books, Happy for No Reason and Love for No Reason.
And you can go to the website is happyfornoreason.com or thelovebook.com, happyfornoreason.com or thelovebook.com. And on each of those sites are some wonderful free bonus gifts as well that you can get that will get you started on this experience of greater happiness and love.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much, Marci. And we just have you for a few more minutes because you have a very busy day today. So thank you so much for taking the time out to be on Synchronicity. And you had mentioned there were three techniques. Yes.
Technique number 2. Technique number 1 was the inner ease technique that we just did together. Technique number 2, people always ask me, what's the fast track to greater happiness and love? And to me, there's one answer. And the answer is forgiveness. We cannot experience more love in our lives when we are holding on to any kind of resentment or anger. So I'm going to share paper and pen, write these down. The technique is called Ho'oponopono. And the good news is it's a lot easier to do than it is to say. It's based on the Kahuna Hawaiian tradition of forgiveness. And it involves saying these 4 phrases internally in your heart. You don't even have to say them to the person that you're holding any anger towards. And it goes like this. They are, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm going to repeat those. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And all you do is you sit and you feel those. You send those wishes towards the person or situation that you're feeling upset with. And you can also send them towards yourself, because we certainly need forgiveness towards ourselves. And so let me just share with you a story of how I use that in my life. I've used it many times, but this is perhaps the most important story for me, most dramatic. About 3 years ago, my sister and I got in an argument, and we weren't talking to each other. And this had never happened in our family before, but it was she got mad at me for something. I didn't think I deserved it. I got mad back, and we didn't talk to each other. 3 months into the silence treatment, we gathered my whole family to move our mom from our family home of 58 years to assisted living, to an apartment. And the morning of the move, we all gathered at her new apartment to unpack her things. Well, I came in last, and I hugged and kissed everybody hello, except my sister. Didn't say a word to her. Ignored her the whole morning. It was really awkward because it was a very small apartment, and I had to walk to the other side of the living room to avoid making eye contact with her. And after about 3 hours of this, I was so drained and so uncomfortable that I took a break and went to the car. And on my way to the car, I remembered Ho'oponopono. So I sat in my car, and I sent those wishes towards her. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And I sent them towards myself as well, because I had been mad at myself for my inability to let go. Well, after about 10 minutes, I felt a huge transformation. This wave of love came over me, and I felt all this compassion for my sister. I realized that she wasn't mad at me for what had happened just a few months earlier, but it was a lifetime of stuff and a whole way that I'd been with her that just, didn't work for her, and I really understood it. So I went back into the apartment feeling very different, but I didn't say anything to anybody. Well, the most amazing thing happened. 3 minutes after being back, my sister came over to me out of the blue, took me by the hand, and said, come on, let's go unpack Mom's closet together.
Aww.
An hour later, we're at lunch, and she hands me across the table her baked potato. She says, here, Marci, I know you like these more than I do. I was so shocked by this that I called my brother aside, and I said, okay, what did you say to her while I was gone? And he said, I didn't say anything. Nobody said anything. We have no idea what happened. Well, that was the beginning of an entirely different relationship that I now have with my sister. And I can't tell you, it couldn't have happened at a better time, because 9 months later, she and I found ourselves standing in that same closet of my mother's, but this time we were packing up her clothes because she had just passed away. And I can't imagine what that would have been like, or what those 9 months would have been like, had we held on to that old feeling. And to me, honestly, this changed my life. I mean, my sister literally I'm moving right now, and she's on her way to my house, having driven 4 hours this morning to help me in my packing. And it's just, the reason I tell this story is that I know that everybody here on this listening to this interview has had someone or something in their life for whom they need more forgiveness. And so I ask you, don't take my word for it. Try this as an experiment in your own life and see if it doesn't make a difference in your life.
That's so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing the Ho'oponopono technique and also the story, because I think it really solidifies how important it is to really experience forgiveness.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I know I promised you 3. Are you ready for a third?
Sure. Do you have time? We've got about 2 minutes. Okay.
So I'll do a really short one. Earlier we talked about how important it is for self-love. This is a simple exercise. Again, I suggest that you do it 3 times a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once in the evening, and it simply asks this question: what's the most loving thing I can do for myself right now? Simple question. What's the most loving thing I can do for myself right now? And sometimes your answer is going to be, I can go get a glass of water, or I can go get some fresh air. Sometimes the answer is going to be, I can do Ho'oponopono, or I can just stop talking to myself so negatively. It's going to vary. But the important thing is that you ask the question and that you stop and pay attention and do the answer. Because we haven't paid enough attention to ourselves and our own needs. And one of the biggest ways that we can shift our own energy is by being present and taking care of ourselves, by asking that question. And if you think it's selfish, I can tell you it's the least selfish thing that you can do, because when you shift your energy, it helps your family, it helps your friends, it helps your community, and ultimately it helps the world.
I love that. Thank you so much. And thank you for sharing those tips with us today. Thank you for writing the book, Love for No Reason, because I do truly agree that it impacts on a global scale.
It really, really does. If I can, I always like to share this as a closing comment. I know we don't have much time left with it on here, but it's a Chinese proverb that sums up my philosophy, and it goes like this: when there is light and love in the soul, there will be beauty in the person. When there is beauty in the person, there will be harmony in the house. When there is harmony in the house, there will be order in the nation. And when there is order in the nation, there will be peace in the world. And my wish for each of us is that we feel the light and the love in our own hearts and souls, and through that, we help create more peace here on this planet of ours.
Oh, thank you so much, Marci. And again, where can people contact you?
.com, www.thelovebook.com, and there's some fabulous free bonus gifts on there, including a whole amazing download of a meditation. There's on love. There's also a hour-long interview on how you can use the emotional freedom technique, or EFT. It's also known as tapping, for greater self-love. So all of these are free at thelovebook.com.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Marci. Well, I know that you've got other commitments today, so I will let you go. I don't want to take up any more of your precious time, but thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm delighted to be with you, and for everyone who's listening. I don't think it's an accident that you happen to be listening to this. There was something in your heart, in your soul, that called you to hear this today, and I consider you to be one of the love ambassadors in the world. This world is going to shift through all of us shifting into the vibration of love. So thank you for joining me with this and for inviting me here, Marie.
Thank you so much, Marci. Have a fabulous day, and yes, love ambassadors. Wonderful. Okay. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. So that was Marci Shimoff. She is the author of Love for No Reason, 7 Doorways to a Life of Unconditional Love. And I love what she said about being a love ambassador, and how when you start to experience unconditional love for yourself, then you're able to experience unconditional love for others, and that energy, that love emanates and goes out into the world, and it really does make a difference. All it takes is one person to start this, and then the next person that you interact with, they feel more loving and more loved, and it just spreads that way. And oh, it's so exciting. I feel all tingly right now. So I am going to play some music for the rest of the hour, but this is Synchronicity Talk Radio for your mind, body, and soul. Thank you again to Marci Shimoff. That was so much fun, and we'll be back with more Synchronicity in a moment.